Hello friends, welcome to my channel, myself Parag Dambulkar. In last video, we have seen introduction to data types. In that video, we have seen there are two types of data types. So one is primitive data type and another is structured data type. So in this video, we will see in detail primitive data types. So what do you mean by primitive data type? Primitive data types are those data types which are not defined in terms of other data types. Or in other words, we can say data types which are directly provided by any programming languages are called as primitive data types. So these data types are also called as built-in data types. Data types which are provided by programming languages and data types which don't require other data types to explain or to define. These are called as primitive data types. For example, integer, float, character, all these are the examples of primitive data type. Now see, so we have different primitive data types. So some are numeric data types, for example, integer, float, and some languages supports complex and decimal numeric data types. Then Boolean data types, character data types. So all these are the primitive data types. Numerical, Boolean, and character. So all these are the primitive data types or data types which are provided directly by programming languages. So we also call them built-in data type. Now we will see these data types in detail. So first we'll discuss about numeric types. So first numeric type is integer. So almost all programming languages they support integer data type. There are various data types are defined to represent integer data types. For example, in Java language, there are four data types, and all these four data types are used to represent integer type. For example, byte, short, int, and long. So byte requires 1 byte, short requires 2 bytes, int requires 4 bytes, long required 8 bytes. In some languages like C++ and C Sharp, there are unsigned integer types. So unsigned integer types are those integer values without sign. So its range starts from 0 to some upper limit. While many programming languages they represent or they support signed integers. So some are negative numbers, some are positive numbers, and along with 0. So in that case, or in those languages, 1 bit is reserved for to show the sign. So 1 bit, especially it is reserved for showing the bit sign of the integer value. In many programming languages, these negative numbers they are shown by two's complements, or in some programming languages or some computer hardware, these negative numbers are represented by the ones complement. So one complement notation in the sense complement of all bits. So bit is 1 then 0 then it is 1. So complement of all the bits. So it gives one complement, and two's complements means finding the ones complement and then one is added into the ones complement. So it gives two's complement. So in some computer hardware or computer architecture, two's complement notation is used to show negative numbers, or in some computer architecture hardware, one's complement notation is used. Now next numeric type is floating point. So floating point data type these are used to represent or to show real numbers. So mostly in programming languages there are two data types. One is float and another is double. So these two data types are used to represent floating point values. Now see there are some terminologies are used. So here we can see. So for example 1 by 3. So it can be represented as 0.33333 lives. So it is never ending. This is called as the exponent. This 0 is called as the exponent. So here 0 is exponent while other part. So this part is called as the fraction part. So here after point 3333, all this is a fraction part. Now see, it is never ending. Its accuracy are to consider, are to limit it. We have one concept that is called as the precision. So precision means we after this point we consider some number of digits up to which it is correct. So this is called as the precision. For example, we may consider some 7 digits or 8 digits up to which it is correct. So it is called as the precision. And then we have another concept, that is a range. So exponent part and fraction part. So this exponent and fraction part combinedly it gives a value. So what is the number of values those are possible, that is called as a range. So for precision we have two types. One is called as a single precision and another is called as a double precision. So here you can see. So we have two IEEE floating point formats. One is single precision and another is double precision. In single precision, we have 23 bits reserved for the fraction part. While in double precision, we have 52 bits reserved for fraction part. So normally float data type it is the single precision data type, and double data type is double precision data type. So for float data type we have 32 bits. So here you can see 23 for fraction part, 8 bits for exponent. So 23 plus 8, that is a 31, and 1 bit is a sign bit. So total 32 bits. And here you can see 52 bits for fraction, 11 bits for exponent. So 52 plus 11, that is a 63, and 1 bit as a sign bit. So total 64 bit. So this is a single precision where 23 bits are reserved for fraction, and in double precision 52 bits are reserved for the fraction. And here we can consider some fixed number of bits for the fraction part, and this is called as the precision. So here you can see precision is the accuracy of the fractional part of a value measured as the number of bits. And range means exponent part and fraction part, combination of fraction part and the exponent part. So whatever the values we get, so range of those values, so that is we called as range. Next numeric data type is complex. So some programming languages like Fortran and Python they support complex data type. So complex data type means values like this: 7 plus 3j. So 7 is a real value while this is an imaginary value. So in Python programming language, imaginary value is represented so some constant followed by small j or capital J. So such kind of complex values are represented in these programming languages. Then next numeric data type is decimal. So some values like this: 2.3 into 10 to the power 3, like this. So such kind of values are called as a decimal value. So where there are the fixed number of digits, those are reserved for the fractional part. This is the decimal point, and then it is represented in terms of powers of 10. So such kind of values are called as the decimal values. So some programming languages like COBOL, C Sharp, F Sharp, these have the decimal data type. So anyhow, hardware these data types are represented as a binary digits. So we have this notation binary coded decimal. So this notation is used to represent this decimal data type. Next data type or next primitive data type is a boolean type. So as we know, so it has only two values. One is true and another is false. So first time this boolean type is introduced by Algol 16, and almost all programming languages Now they are supporting Boolean types. Next primitive data type is character. So many characters. So generally there are 128 characters. Those are represented as a character data type, and for that we have ASCII values. So this ASCII code is used to represent this 128 characters, and for that these values are used from 0 to 127. So it becomes total 128 characters. Now see, from 0 to 127 values we require 7 bits. So normally for ASCII code we use 7 bits, and this 8-bit ASCII code means this is called as the extended ASCII value or extended ASCII code. So 7 bits we have 128 characters, and in extended ASCII code where 8 bits are used, so that means total 256 characters are possible. So those extra characters are the characters from the European languages. So European language characters, they are used or they are shown by the extended 8-bit ASCII code. Now see, again it was not sufficient. So to represent or to show characters from the other languages, we have another format that is called as a Unicode. So this Unicode is given by Unicode Consortium. This is the organization which has given this Unicode. So they have given the first standard that is called as the UCS-2. So according to this standard, 16-bit character set was used. 16-bit character set in the sense 2 bytes were used to represent Unicode. So characters from other languages like this Serbia, Thai digits, all these characters they are represented by the Unicode. And in 1991, we have another format or another standard. This is called as UCS-4. So previously it was UCS-2, and it was using 16-bit, that is the 2 bytes for the representing characters, and this standard is using 4 bytes to represent characters. Then whatever the ASCII values are there, ASCII codes are there. So first 28 characters, those are represented by the ASCII codes. They are also added in Unicode. So in Unicode, first 128 characters are same as those of ASCII codes. Java was the first language which has used Unicode character set. Apart from Java language, we have another languages like JavaScript, Python, Perl, C Sharp, F Sharp. These languages are also supporting Unicode character set. So in this way, we have primitive data types. So some are numeric, some are boolean, and some are character data type. So friends, I hope you like this video. If yes, then click on like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to press bell icon so that you will get notification of my next video. So stay connected. Thank you.